Hello, grade threes. It is great to see you here on our marvelous Monday, ready to start a marvelous Monday math lesson. So today we are going to be doing lesson 4 of module 7. So please make sure that you have your module 7 learn book. Here it is. It's a really skinny one. It says grade 3 module 7 on it. So make sure you're working in the correct book, please. We don't want to try and lose ourselves by looking in the wrong books for things. And in just a second, I'm going to be showing us our learning objective and what we need. So let me show you my screen share my screen with you, and we can get started. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger up here in the corner there so that you can all see my beautiful face. There we go. So today's learning objective says, I can compare and classify quadrilaterals. And this is lesson 4 of module 7. We're not doing the first 3 lessons because they all need classroom work. And since we're not in an actual classroom, we can't actually do them. But that's okay because we are starting a new module today about geometry. And geometry is all about shapes. So today's learning objective says I can compare and classify quadrilaterals. And let's have a minute and think about what that means. What does it mean to classify something? We all know what it means to compare, but what does classifying something mean? Well, easily put, classifying is when you organize things by their characteristics and by what they have. So we're going to be looking at the characteristics of quadrilaterals, and quadrilaterals are a type of shape. So today you will need your math journal, you will need your learn book, and open to page 17 and page 18, our problem set. We aren't going to be doing our application problem today because we're going to save that for tomorrow. And we are splitting this lesson into 2 days because it's a very long lesson and we don't want to make these videos too long for you. So we're going to get started, as always, with our fluency practice. So the first thing we need to do is we are going to be skip counting by 4s. If you need to, you can go ahead, you can write your 4 times table down the side of your math journal page to make sure that you have them ready. You can pause the video, and when you're ready to start, you can push play again. If you are ready, we are going to start our skip counting. And again, we're going to be using our math hands to show our groups of 4. I love our math hands. Remember, I'm going to be starting with my right hand and you're going to be starting with your left hand. So let's get started with 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. And let's go backwards down from 40 all the way back to 0, 40, 36, 32, 30, or 28, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8, 4, 0. Well done. We're going to go up and do it one more time. So let's get ready with our math hands and let's count it out together. I'm not going to be counting it this time. I'm just going to be showing you my fingers and you are going to be saying your skip counting. So well done, grade 3s. All right, let's get ready to go backwards, starting at our 40 all the way back to 0. Again, I'm not going to be counting. Try and do it by yourselves. If you need to, you can always look at your 4 times table skip counting that you've just written down in your journals. Good work, everyone. All right, so we've just done our skip counting. Now we want to solve the question up on our screen here, 7 times 4. But instead of starting all the way at 0, we're going to start counting at 20. And I know 20 is my first 5 groups of 4 because 5 times 4 is 20. And we're going to count up from 20 to get to 28. So let's get ready. We've got our fingers and our math hands ready. 20, 24, 28. So 7 groups of 4 is 28. 7 times 4 is 28. Now we're going to see how we can skip count down to find the answer. So that means instead of starting at 20 and skip counting up, we're going to be starting at 40 and skip counting going down. So let's get ready. We're starting at 40 and we're going to go down. What number are we going to stop at? Say it again with me. 28. Well done. 28. Well done. So 40, 36, 32, 28. And I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fingers left. So 7 times 4 is 28. Let's get ready to skip count by 4s up to 9 times 4. And again, we are going to be starting with our at 20. That's 5 groups of 4. And we're going to be counting up until we have 9 fingers, 9 groups of 4 showing. So let's get ready to start at 20, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. And I'm going to stop there because I've got my 9 fingers showing. All right, fantastic. Let's get ready to go on to our next one. And we're going to be doing our 9 times 4 again, but this time we are counting down from 40. So right now, 40 is 10 groups of 4. So I've got my 10 fingers showing. 10 times 4 is 40. I just want to go down until I have 9 fingers showing because 9 times 4 is what I'm looking for. So 40, 36. Oh, and I've got my 9 fingers left. So 9 times 4 is 36. And we counted backwards. Well done, grade 3s. Let's go and get ready to skip count up by 4s. Again, we're going to be starting at 20 and we're going to be skip counting up. So 20, 24. Oh, I've got my 6 fingers. That's 6 groups of 4. 6 times 4 is 24. That was nice and easy to do. Let's go and see if we can count down from 40 to 24. So we're going to start at our 40 and we're going to be going down. 40, 36, 32, 28, 24. So I've got my 6 fingers and I know I ended at 24 in my skip counting. So 6 times 4 is 24. Great work, grade 3s. Now we're going to be skip counting up from 20 to get to our 8 times 4. So again, I've got my 5 fingers ready because 5 times 4 is 20. And we're going to go up until we have 8 fingers or 8 groups of 4. So 20, 24, 28, 32. There are my 8 fingers. I've now got my 32 because 8 times 4 is 32. Can you figure out what we're going to be doing next yet? We're going to be skip counting down from 40 to get to our 8 times 4. Say it with me. What's 8 times 4? 32. What's 8 times 4? 32. Well done, everybody. All right, let's start at our 40, and we're going to skip count down until we get to 32, which is our 8 fingers. So 40, 36, 32. Oops, I'm going to stop there because now I've got my 8 fingers, and 8 times 4 is, well done. All right, so now we are not going to be doing our application problem today. We are saving that for tomorrow. Instead, today, we are going straight into our concept development. So for this, please make sure that you have your journal ready. Please make sure that you have your Learn book open to page 17. You absolutely must have that ready. Page 17 in your Learn book. Make sure you've got a good pencil that you can write with. I've got my green pen, my good teacher pen. And our learning objective today is to be able to group to be able to compare and classify quadrilaterals. So we are looking at our quadrilaterals. Now, what's a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a very, very long word. I know. What do you think a quadrilateral is, Brain? Well, I know that it's got the word quad in it. So quad means four, something with four. Ooh, is it 4 words I can learn? Nope, you're close, Brain. It's not 4 words. Remember, we're thinking about shapes. So it would be a shape with 4 whats? What do all shapes have? Brains? No brain. Shapes usually don't have brains. What do all shapes that we know of have? Something that goes around the outside, and it's something where those things that go around the outside meet. Lines? Yep, you're right. Every shape has lines and corners. So a quadrilateral is a shape with 4 lines and 4 corners. Oh, that makes sense. Yes, I always make sense, Brain. All right, so we are grouping our polygons by attributes. And a polygon is a shape that is a closed shape. It means it doesn't have any open sides on it. All of its sides connect to all the other sides. It doesn't have any empty spaces. I'm going to draw a polygon, or I've got 3 polygons actually on my screen, and I'm going to draw one that isn't a polygon. That one is not a polygon because it has an empty space between its lines. So that is not a polygon. Polygons can have any number of sides, 3 or more, and 3 or more corners. Why do you think a polygon couldn't only have 2 sides? Why couldn't a polygon only have 2 sides? What do you think, Spike? Why can't a polygon only have 2 sides? Ooh. I think you're right, Spike. What did he say, Mr. Dip? Well, Brain, Spike said that if any shape only has 2 sides, like that, they will leave an empty space between the sides. And that means they can't be a polygon because there's an empty space where they don't match. But what if I drew a line like... Brain, are you okay? I know you don't have hands. Mr. Dip, can you draw the line for me? Sure. Like that? Okay, yep. But now it's got 3 sides, Brain. Oh, okay. Yep, there you go. Good, Brain. All right, so we're going to be looking at the part of a shape where 2 lines meet, and that is called an angle. So here is an angle, here is an angle, here is an angle, here is an angle, here's 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 another one, here's another angle, and here's another angle. A right angle is when 2 lines meet to make a square corner. So I drew a square over here. This is a right angle, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and this is a right angle. But on this, is this angle like a square's corner? No, it's not. It's way too big. The lines go like that instead of being nice and straight like that. It's hard to do it with my hands. So instead of being nice and straight like that, they go like that. That's way too big. And on the triangle, those angles are teeny tiny angles like that. They're not nice and square at all. So a right angle is when 2 lines meet to make a square corner. What shapes do you think we could find a right angle on? Well, you used the word square, Mr. Deb. I did, Brain. So what shape do you think we could find a right angle on? A square. Well done. And there's another shape. It looks a bit like a square if you pull a square longer. Oh, a rectangle. Yep, you're right. We find right angles on squares and rectangles. All right, let's go to our next slide. And today we are going to be looking at all these shapes. And I'm going to be moving my little face over there into the corner. We're going to be looking at all these shapes. All of these shapes are polygons because they all connect together again. None of these shapes have an open space in their lines. And all of these shapes are also quadrilaterals because they have 4 lines and 4 edges or sides and 4 angles or 4 corners. So we're going to be using all of these shapes. We can group them together. And I want you just to pause the video for 5 seconds and have a quick think. Use your brain about how to group all of these shapes together. What's one way that we could group them together? Brain, what do you think? What's one way we could group these shapes together? What about by names? We could put all the shape squares together. We could put all the triangles together. We could put all the rectangles and the rhombuses together and all the trapezoids together. Yep, we could put all of those together. What's another way that we might be able to group them without worrying about what they're called as a name? How else could we group these? By the number of angles they have. You're right, by the number of angles and the kinds of angles they have, we could group them by if they have a right angle or not right angles. And there's one more way that we could group all these shapes together, Brain. Can you think about it? Come on, Brain, use your brain. I am a brain. All right, let's see. Maybe someone else can help tell us. Oh, Spike, what do you think? Oh, Spike sideways. There we go. Yep, I think you're right, Spike. Brain, what did he say? He said that we could group them by their sides. But they've all got the same number of sides. That's very silly. They all have 4 sides. But Spike said we could group them by how the sides look and are next to each other. That's really vague. Can you use some specific terms to help us with that, Brain? If they're equal in length and if they're parallel. Ooh, good words there. And we're going to be getting to that in just a second, Brain. Okay. So we can group all these shapes by name, like if we put all the squares together. We can group them by the number of sides they have, and we can group them by the number of angles that they all have. If you remember way back from 2nd grade, that closed shapes like these have no gaps or overlaps between the straight sides, and they are called polygons. Polygons with 4 sides are called quadrilaterals. So let's see if we can sort these shapes into shapes with 4 straight sides. We want to turn them into, well, they're all polygons. We want to turn them all into quadrilaterals. There we go. We want to group all of these into quadrilaterals. But Mr. Deb, all of them are quadrilaterals. You're right. All of them are quadrilaterals, Brain, because they all have 4 straight sides. So I would have all of these shapes and my quadrilaterals. Let's see what we're doing next with our shapes. If my computer decides to work. Come on, computer. There we go. So what do you notice about the polygons we grouped? We noticed that they look different, but they all share the attribute of having 4 sides and 4 angles. What's an attribute? Well, an attribute is a characteristic. So I would say for me, one of my attributes is that I wear glasses so that I can see. All of these shapes have 4 sides. One of my attributes is that I'm blue. Yep, exactly, brain. So in your problem set, you can pause the video here and complete the first row of the chart on page 17 of your Learn book on the problem set, where it says 4 sides. Label the letters of the polygons that all have 4 sides. That's all of them. And make sure to draw one of them from your group. I'm going to go back so you can see the group. Pause the video when you're looking at it and draw your polygon and write down what the letters that of the shapes that have the attribute of 4 sides are. When you're ready, you can push play. All right, well done. So now that we've done that, we're going to go on and we want to find and group all the trapezoids together. Trapezoids are quadrilaterals that have at least one set of parallel sides. Think of parallel sides like the 2 sidelines of a capital H, like that. They're not slanted and they will never ever meet each other. Here are some parallel sides. These 2 are parallel because they run like train tracks, exactly parallel to each other. They will never touch. These 2 are not parallel because eventually this one will go through and touch that one. And these 2 are not parallel because they're already crossing and touching. So we want to make sure that we are looking for shapes with 2 parallel sides. Which ones here can we see that have 2 parallel sides? Let's take a look. H, this side and this side are parallel, so that's a good one. L has 2 parallel sides. Here they go. This one and this one look parallel. B looks like it has 2 parallel sides, the top and the bottom, and that side and that side. C looks like it has 2 parallel sides, the top and the bottom, and the left and the right side. J looks like it has 2 parallel sides. This side and this side are parallel. E definitely has 2 parallel sides, the top and the bottom lines. G has a lot of parallel sides, the top, the bottom, the left, and the right. F definitely has a lot of parallel sides, the top and the bottom, and the left and the right. I has a lot of parallel sides too, this side, and this side, and this side, and this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm very, very quickly going to draw a little mark to show us which sides are parallel on these shapes. There we go. That one and that one. That one and that one. And that one and that one. This one and this one. Not all of these have 2 sets of parallel sides, but they've all got at least 2 sides that are parallel. All right, so grade 3s, I think you all get the idea about this. Right now, we're going to be going to our next slide. Which letter shapes, though, do not have 2 sets of parallel sides? Well, the K doesn't have 2 sets of parallel sides. The D definitely does not have 2 sets of parallel sides. And the A definitely does not have 2 sets of parallel sides either. All right, so let's see what they want us to do with these parallel sides and trapezoids. So if trapezoids have at least 1 set of parallel sides, could they have more than 1? Let's think about that. Right now, though, your next job is to pause this video after I go back to our previous screen, and on page 17 in your Learn book, where it says at least 1 set of parallel sides, you're going to write all the letters of the polygons that have at least 1 set of parallel sides, and you're going to draw a picture of one of them. All right, so go ahead, pause the video, and then you can write out and fill out your problem set. When you're ready, just push play. All right, welcome back, grade threes. Now we're finding another group of parallelograms. And these are four-sided polygons that have two sets of parallel sides. And what you're going to do is you are going to go back to this video, or this screen, sorry, here we go. And you are going to see which shapes here have two sets of parallel sides. And I've put little lines on all the sides that are parallel. So you want to look for the shapes like the L, the C, the I, the G, and the F, and the B, where there are two sets of parallel sides. And in your book on page 17, under the next column down, or next row down, I mean, you're going to go ahead, you're going to write the names of the shapes, put in their letters, and you can draw one of those shapes that has two sets of parallel sides. When you're done that, you can come back and we'll carry on with our video. Welcome back, grade threes. So now, the next thing our Learn book is asking us to do is to find four right angles in a shape. So we're going to be looking at our shapes and seeing which ones have four right angles. Make sure you're ready to write it down into your problem set and draw one picture. So let's get ready and go through it. C definitely has four right angles there. B definitely has four right angles. Each one looks like the corner of a square there. E, those don't look like the square corners to me. F definitely has four right angles. All of those look like the corners of a square. G, nope. G, these look a bit weirder than a square. That's not a corner of a square there. And J has lots of different kinds of angles. I, well, these are much bigger angles than a square, and these are smaller ones. So I doesn't work either. So now we've got three that each have four right angles. You can go ahead, fill it in your problem set, and make sure you draw one of the pictures. And while you're doing that, I'm going to be showing you what we put in a right angle. We finish the angle and we turn it into a little square, just like that. So go ahead, make sure you're writing that they are squares, just like this. And I'm going to let you finish filling in all the rest. Make sure you've got that done in your problem set. You can pause the video if you need to. Otherwise, push play and we're going to be moving on to our next classification. All right, now we want to find and group all the squares. What makes a square special? What do we know about squares that make them special? They're very, very special shapes. But what is special about them? Oh, I know, squares have four equal sides. Yep, you're right, Brain. They've got four equal sides. And what about their angles? Squares have four right angles. You're right. Squares have four equal sides and four right angles. So let's go ahead, make sure you're on page 17 of your Learn book and you're ready to fill out our four right angles and four equal sides row of our problem. We're going to write down the names of all the polygons that are squares. And remember, you need to draw one in the space given to you. So let's go look at our shapes here. Let's look closely. Which of these shapes has four right angles and four equal sides? All right, brain. Right. Let's see. I know F has four equal sides and four right angles. So I know F is a square. C is a square because it has 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. Frame, do you see any of the squares here? Nope, not at all. I don't see any more either. I see a lot of rectangles. B is a rectangle. G is a rhombus, which means it's like a rectangle that's leaning. Is I a square? Maybe I is a square. Let's see if we can turn it on its side properly. Oh, nope, that doesn't look like a square to me. Let's see if we can make C look like a nice square. There we go. And what about F? Is F a square? There we go. F is a beautiful square. All right. So we've got all our shapes that have 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. So make sure you write them down and make sure you go and draw a picture. All right, superstars. Thank you very much for watching this with us. I hope you've enjoyed our video. I hope you learned a lot. If you need to, you can always go back and rewatch it. Remember, you are always free to pause if you need to stop and write something down, or to just make sure you're double checking your work and your learning. Bye, superstars. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in our math meeting, superstars. Bye.